Pandas. Into that dire triangle is where they'll go. Already holding that high ground position, and Team Aster should have no idea this is happening. They've got no vision on that high ground. It's a very strong position already for 9 Pandas to kind of stay in and just wait for somebody to show up. So Kiyotaka will reveal himself in the mid lane for a moment. Does cop a Mystic Snake there from Monet. And 9 Pandas, they actually give up on that high ground position. They'll bring Solo down, maybe hoping for a bit of a bait play. Team Aster now taking that high ground on the dire triangle instead. It's like, who really has the better level 1 team fight though? Like, I just feel like 9 Pandas probably would win out in a big level 1 team fight, but we'll see very soon. It's Monet. Oh, he's not going to stick around, of course. The Medusa just going to leave the area. It's going to be a nice even 2-for-2 start on the bounty runes once again. And while we're around here, Jonathan, why don't we start with the mid lane? Of course, you're going to have Kiyotaka on the mid Pango, and he's going to be up against Sumail on the mid Ember. We have seen Pangolier doing a lot of great work here in the mid lane as per usual. But against the Ember, it should be a fairly even matchup, I would assume, John. What are we thinking?
I'd say the Ember has a pretty nice time into this one. Your Flame Guard's not going to melt, so you can always clear out the creep wave. You can kind of outplay with a Sleight of Fist, and your early timing for Over-Corrosion feels a little bit better for the Ember in comparison to the Pangolier. Your uptime for Sleight of Fist is a little bit better as well. So constant harassment out from Sumail is going to be key. Level 6 is the big timing though. Whoever gets 6 faster tends to have a pretty good time. So it's just down to denies. So far, no priority on the denies early on. But again, like 6 timing. If you get it a little bit faster for Kiyotaka, it could lead into a nice kill for Sumail. If Sumail gets it faster, then it's kind of safe to do what he wants here.
Oh, a quick pause out here. Looks like we have a mouse issue. So, you know, I wasn't too far off, John. I said keyboard earlier. Apparently, it was a mouse issue here for Rams. You see the cheeky smiles coming out from the faces of 9 Pandas here. Well, you know something we don't, Jonathan. I'm sure.
I'm sure they do, Mikey.
A lot of these players have wireless mouses these days, John, so you can easily pick one up and throw it across the room.
I suppose you could.
Yeah.
I suppose you could, Mikey. It's a bit wasteful, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Just gotta get the frustration out sometimes, John.
I suppose.
Sometimes it's worth it.
I suppose. That is one way of looking at it, Mike. At least they look reset.
I enjoy the fact that we get to be serenaded by the lovely voice lines of Team SMG here, as we did have the pause going on. We'll get back into this game number 2. Back up and underway. We talk about the top lane for a moment, John. You're going to have Monet and, of course, Siamese Cat against Miero and Antares. Interesting kind of lane matchup here with the Beastmaster Batrider against the Dusa and the Veno. Do you feel like this favors one side or the other here at the top lane?
I think it's fairly even for both sides. If you can land your spells consistently on Monet, it is pretty ugly for the Dusa. There's a lot of DOTs to constantly melt through your mana shield. And the spacing is well enough in 9 Pandas that you're not going to get a big bounce on your Mystic Snake usage. At the same time, Siamese Cat can always provide that spacing here to ensure that Monet is not under threatened with a Gale. Get the right clicks off for the Poison Sting.
Boca. He's down bottom lane. First blood can be drawn. Ramsey's able to pick it up on the position 1 Wind Ranger. And that is exactly the start you wanted to see here from 9 Pandas.
Yep. Just find the pickoffs early on. Get as much as you can out for Ramsey. Again, this bot lane is pretty stable. A Pugna and a Magnus doesn't quite do too much together. I suppose you can use the slow from Decrep to try and run down, but not the most straightforward setup. XXS still finding decent farm, but you can't really stop a Wind Ranger as a melee core, unfortunately. You feel a little bit better with a Vanguard timing. That's going to take a little bit longer with how rough that lane is.
Things quiet across all the rest of the lanes right now. This mid lane going fairly evenly as expected. Both mid laners on 13 CS at the moment. No kills coming out yet. Both of them just happen to trade CS and harassment. Pretty hard to expect a kill 1v1 between these two heroes, though, to be fair. Maybe once the supports start rotating, but even then, I think we're still going to be waiting at least another minute for the 4-minute water rune timings, and more so the 6-minute power rune timings. Kiyotaka has gotten very, very low in terms of HP, but again, the support rotation's not really there. And to be fair for Team Aster, like, you've got a Pugna Venom. Not exactly the best supports when you think about roaming potential.
Definitely not. Like, that is one thing that you can sort of use against Aster here for 9 Pandas. Your presence on your supports is a little bit stronger. Even a Silencer can have a decent time when it does show up to rotation. We'll see if they get that spacing to get that done. 4-minute water runes coming up shortly, and the supports up top are starting to collapse down towards mid. Antar's taking a rather aggressive position here.
That he is. Big wraparound here against Samel. Again, water runes are spawning up in a couple seconds, so they seem to want to just deny the Ember that water rune usage. Siamese Cat is going to rotate on the Venomancer, however, so Samel will have the top water rune to go for, though Antares, TPing back towards the tier 1 tower, is going to try and steal this away. Problem is the Chains and Gale are both going to land, but now the Flame Break into the deny from Antares, but he might be feeding a kill away to Samel if he's not too careful. Looks like he will barely be able to get out with his life intact. The Siamese Cat is still trying to chase with the Plague Wards, handing over the vision. But Antares is not going to fall. He is fine.
It's a really good move out. Get that TP going. Steal the rune away. Seeing Sumail still focusing on the mid. On the creep wave. And now no top up, no deaths means no TP refill for Sumail either. It's going to be a little bit worse for wear on mid without the mana. Still, with that movement out, it's a lot of space for Monet. Your Medusa's not being zoned out. Hits the level 4, level 2 Snake. Feeling pretty safe to just keep spamming out the Snake and hold steady in the lane. I mean, you can try to aim your axes for Miero, but chances are when you line up for the axis, you're also lining up for a Mystic Sneak to bounce out from that Dusa, so it's a double-edged sword there.
Not to O so far. Only one kill happening here. 5.5 minutes into this game, number 2. Just been having a bit of a gander down a bot lane again. John Ramsey's been having a fantastic time. In fact, XXS now dropping lower. Great shackles out from Ramsey's. They might just have enough to finish off this kill as XXS will not be able to survive through it. Ramsey's doing some fantastic work there with the shackle. I believe actually shackling onto the neutral creep that was pulled by Solo to make that happen, and it was quite brilliant to watch here from the Wind Ranger.
Yep, lines up the shot, and again, that's exactly what you want to see from the Wind Ranger early on. Get a strong start in lane, and get that understanding that XXS can't really do much in here. And you can try to spam Shockwave all he wants, but the Wind Ranger is fairly mobile. Down mid, though.
Gonna try for Samel. In fact, that Siamese Cat they're trying for. Kiyotaka should have no problems, but the one charges make it a little bit more challenging. Kiyotaka now looking for an escape route. Solo has been caught. The Nether Blast will get the job done, and now Kiyotaka, very low on HP and mana, is going to swash away, but it's proving not to be enough. Samel with a high 5 up. Sadly for him, Kiyotaka will not reciprocate, but I think Samel is more than happy just taking his life instead.
And that's a good set of kills coming out here for Aster. The death in Siamese Cat even benefiting Sumail finally getting a bottle top up. So you don't miss out on too much. Good movements out from Aster. 9 Pandas trying to get some momentum, but a Venomancer's not really a target you want to jump anyway. Like this here doesn't mind sacrificing for their cores. You see a little bit of an attempt perhaps to steal out the Wisdom Rune, but Baboka's already in position, so you will start with a steady 1-1 on that objective. And again, a very even game here as we go into game 2.
Oh, XXS.
Although,
yeah, not expecting Solo to be in the tree line. He's going to take a fair bit of damage here, but will survive as now the rotations from the supports of Aster are there to try and get Solo down himself on the silencer, though Solo is still fighting here with Siamese Cat, but the power shot is going to be off the mark from Ramses.
Ooh.
But a nice deny, Ramses. Able to still deny away the gold from Team Aster, as they will find nothing for all this time and trouble. But they still could have an opportunity at going after Ramses. He only has level 1 win run. So a Gale might be enough to really lock him down long enough, but he's going to go for the focus fire here on the Wind Ranger, going right back after Siamese Cat, but the Decrepify is going to make sure they cannot finish off the kill, as now XXS moving in with the Skewer available, should have the kill, and they will get it. Very important pick up there for Team Aster, an immediate tips out from Siamese Cat. And you know what, John? It might be deserved because he stuck around way too long.
He did. He played a little bit greedy, trying to punish some of these squishier supports, not respecting the decrep counter in the Pugna. They managed to get a great play out on Aster, finally getting some relief there for XXS, who has had a pretty rough lane. So you equalize quite nicely. You're starting to catch up quite nicely here as well for XXS. I mean, you're still off to a great start for Ramses, but you are sacrificing Kiyotaka and Niero's start to an extent to kind of secure that as they make a play mid.
It's a big one, Samel. He had a shield rune available, so they didn't want to dive past the tier 1 tower. Kiyotaka now being locked down by the chains of Samel, and the dive is in from the Ember, but he is dropping a little bit too low. Rolling Thunder will be out. Nice shoot with the Sleight of Fist, but it's not proving to be enough quite yet. Samel still in huge danger, and eventually will go down. It's Kiyotaka baiting him forward, and then just taking his life away in the immediate tip back towards the Ember now. I love this kind of tipping game from both sides.
Oh yeah, they're getting into each other's heads. Samel playing a bit too aggressive, not respecting the angle being found by Kiyotaka, with the Remnant placed pretty close by. Not too hard to find a bounce angle there. There's a lot of vision here as well from 9 Pandas to ensure this mid of Kiyotaka goes decently. Like, that is a triangle of wards right there, just focusing on mid. And finding that kill certainly does mean that the investment is paying off just a tad bit more. A very important kill to find for the Pango for sure. Rushing into the power treads, into that diffusal timing. And just putting a lid on how great Sumail's lane has been. So, a much needed kill. They can start to roam into the jungle to hunt, but you walk into these Venom wards, doesn't really lead to too much. So despite having forward vision here for the side of 9 Pandas, getting a flank is a lot harder. Again, one of the benefits of that Venom map control it does give you is pretty substantial. It does mean that you have to expend even more resources than something like, say, the smoke to get something out here.
Yeah. Certainly the case. 4-3. Very, very slight net worth lead for 9 Pandas at the moment. You've got to be somewhat concerned about Monet just being able to free farm on the Medusa already, as bottom lane, Solo being chased down by Samel with a double damage rune, and Solo will hand over the high five. That's a little sportsmanship there by Solo. Smavoka will hand over the tip here to Samel as well. It's 2-1-1 is now the scoreline of the Ember, and he might need to rotate into the mid lane rather soon, because Kiyotaka is slowly sieging this tier 1 mid tower. The Siamese Cat has been trying his best to defend, but Samel eventually going to move in and ensure it does remain defended.
Yeah, they start to clear out the creep wave. Again, it's hard to find an angle here for the side of Aster due to all the wards coming out from 9 Pandas, so you can't really expect Samel to find too much on the mid lane itself. At least if he swings by elsewhere, you find some openings. Still, Aster is starting to group down bot. They've got the level 3 Nether Blast that can start pressuring a lane. Ramsey's still sticking around this area. Miero can't quite get that same shove up top as Monet can clear out the creep wave constantly. So the pressure onto Ramses is a little bit more significant. Ramses already opting to take the gate up top. Does look like, oh, he changes his mind. Figures he can still hold this lane, I suppose.
Mid lane, Samel still being chased down by Kiyotaka. Nice double chains out. Siamese Cat is around as well, but didn't quite get the memo because Samel was trying to back off, so Siamese get caught by the Rolling Thunder of Kiyotaka, and will just be some free food here for the Pangalir. Meanwhile, a much bigger kill because Monet has dropped top lane. That's the one you really wanted to see as a 9 Pandas fan. And Ramses and Miro able to make it work together. And that is a massive one to fight.
Oh.
Global Psalms, mid lane. Another team fight to break out already. Samel was in a bit of danger, but is proving to still be just fine as XXS shows up with the RP, at least taking Solo's life. And the Global Psalms, it doesn't really amount to anything. They find nothing with it.
It's a bit unfortunate. The Flame Break pushed Sumail up top into the high ground, so they couldn't find that kill after committing the Global Silence, and gets the bailout for free. They force out some big spell uses. 9 Pandas overall still happy with finding Monet, but Monet's at the point where he can jungle anyway. He'll dip in, he'll start to clear out some stacks. He's got the Yasha for additional damage. He's perfectly fine on that Dusa. Just the memo to bail out of the top lane. They managed to clear out bot now. Again, good movement out from Ramses to head towards the gate. I believe he baited a little bit because he stayed down longer instead of just instantly channeling to that top twin gate. And that does catch Monet off guard. So again, a rather even start here, 6-5, less than 1k lead, bouncing back and forth between Aster and 9 Pandas. The key timings are starting to line up though. Ramses gunning for a quicker Manta style, so not opting for the full Gleipnir. The defusal for Kiyotaka is still 2 parts away. Quite the investment yet to be found here for our Pango. Whereas for Sumail, he is opting for the old school Yule's build, just to deal with that global sound. So not the ideal for an Ember looking to right click, but necessary in this game.
9 Pandas. Swashbuckle in. They have got Siamese Cat on the Veno. Pop the ulti at the very least onto Kiyotaka, but with the Rolling Thunder and the Swashbuckle to follow up, Kiyotaka is going to secure the kill he wanted. Sumail still thinking about playing around here with the Sleight of Fist, but can't quite reach the Pango. 9 Pandas looking to apply that pressure into the mid lane. They've got their Roar up on Miero as well, don't forget, so they have plenty of setup here if they do get jumped by Aster. And Aster, they are rotating even more heroes into the mid lane. Try not to give that mid tier 1 tower away for free. Meanwhile, Kiyotaka, I mean, he has a haste rune up. He's still just juking and driving away from Aster, but a nice RP. XXS not going to hesitate. Finding the big mid Pango pick up as they do tip immediately. Sumail's been waiting for that for quite a few minutes now, I think.
Yeah. Gets a tip out. They find a kill. Aster with a good read. XXS again with no hesitation, reminding us of how he played that Doomfist. Sees an opportunity, doesn't mind popping a big spell. Silences out.
Sumail, he's gonna drop Kiyotaka. Immediate revenge out. It's mid lane in the meantime. Solo gonna drop himself on the silencer. Nevertheless, you saw the global silence being popped. Ramses was in onto the Ember, and just with the focus fire and the Maelstrom alone, he just has so much damage. Let's take him out just with the silences. Now Ramses needing to retreat out of that die triangle. Will do so after seeing Monet. But so far for Ramses, having a much better game than he did game 1. It's mid lane. Baboka knocked onto the high ground. Swashbuckle's off the mark, in fact, so Baboka's going to survive. Ramses, in the meantime, is going to TP out. Bit of a shame they could not find the Veno kill. Excuse me, rather the Baboka Pugma kill. But they do get a mid tier 1 tower for their trouble. It's even better.
Yeah. Find the objective. You're forcing a lot of attention onto that mid. Suppose you don't mind us too much in Aster. Again, you've got the Deuce kind of free farming right now. So Renee's going to be set to hit that Scotty timing while everyone focuses on this mid Clash Royale right now. Yules for Sumail, just 1 part away. And that should fix a lot of the issues. Like, global sound stops being a threat, and he should be able to dance around, try to outplay the side of 9 Pandas once more. I think for the side of 9 Pandas, again, even with the diffusal up on your Pangolier, my concern is still dealing with Dusa. Because if Baboka gets a good position in these fights, then life drain on Dusa, man. You just fully top up Dusa's shield. Like, she is never going to take any HP damage at all.
It is very problematic for sure. But you do need to get to a bit of a later stage in the game to really feel the impact of that happening, but at least for now, things are still going just fine. Like, Monet's approaching the Eye of Skadi timing on the Medusa. Mid lane, Kiyotaka and Sumail's going at it again. The chains are not going to land onto the Pango. Big smoke up here from 9 Pandas. Miero will be on the front lines without the smoke on the Beastmaster, just trying to bait for his team a little bit. They are going to rotate into that jungle west side of the map, as they are going to find a Venomancer now. Siamese Cat breaking the smoke. Kiyotaka going to miss out on the initial swashbuckle. Will cop the Gale. Does go for the Rolling Thunder. Meanwhile, Antares has found Baboka as well in the back, so they found both supports on Team Aster, and both of them will drop. No cause rotating in to try and help out the support duo of Team Aster. And I suppose that's fair enough.
It's fine. You bleed out these 2 supports. You're farming on the other side of the map anyway. So you're more than happy. Monet just kind of chasing Ramses down. The poke and prod starting to hurt this Wind Ranger.
I mean, they are trying. Ramsey still seems to be fine, and he's actually buying a lot of space for his team to just go for the Roshan play. So 9 Pandas, they'll just focus on Roche. There is a rotation incoming from Siamese Cat, but Roshan's already a little bit too low. More TP's incoming, but it is too late. Roshan does go down. 9 Pandas seeing Siamese will rush right towards the Venomancer, knowing how easy of a kill it is. But Baboka is going to go for a life drain, and Siamese is actually surviving throughout all of this. So now the skew are back. They've got Kiyotaka. RP is still available, but they don't even need it. They'll just get rid of the Aegis first. Hold on to the RP for the secondary life, though it's still not committed. Global Silence does come out in time to make sure they never got the animation off. But Aster, they are still going. Samel does show up. Chains do land onto Solo. But the retreat is still ongoing from 9 Pandas. And it seems like Team Aster, they realize they might be diving a little bit too deep to try and pick off these kills. Instead, they will back off and kind of accept the fact that they've already got the Aegis down on Kiyotaka.
Yeah, I mean,
The
fresh
XXS?
Aegis instantly gone. Oh.
He does blink away in time. No shackle out from Ramses.
This is a pretty awkward position for 9 Pandas. Having to use that Global Silence already means that the next fight is actually really favorable for Aster if they find it within the next minute 20. Like, they should be able to just get control, get what they want out of these engagements. And for 9 Pandas, I mean, their counterfights all in on that Global Silence. They'll try to smoke out here. Roar, Rolling Thunder, and the Lasso still ready at the very least if they find a pick-off.
They're heading in the right direction. Team Aster just ran through the mid-river. Oh, Monet, he is farming on his own. Mind you, he's not the easiest pick-off right now as the Medusa, but they're going to give it a crack, it seems like, as the Lasso is there, holding him down. They've already burnt through quite a bit of the mana, still trying to get through all the HP pool. There is a Decrepify, though, and now the RP! XXS is in time, but Boca saves the day for Monet, and it seems like 9 Pandas, they're the ones in trouble, trying to retreat, but Miro's down. Kiyotaka's in big danger. He will drop to boot. Oh, but Boca! The Decrepify life drain proving to be enough, and Monet, he was completely out of mana. It looked like there was no chance.
It's kind of ridiculous because you're still going to heal up the mana shield every single time, although it's just difficult, right? Like, you can see in that fight, again, they get the control, but just enough healing, and that's a level 1 life drain from Baboka. Not even level 2. It's just set to get worse. Like, if you don't manage to burst down that Dusa, then she will always have this damage block. And that is really the crux of it. Like, you have to take care of Baboka first, but they don't manage to jump the backline, and they don't respect that sustain game that a Pugna Medusa does have.
Some fantastic play here as Ramses. Bottom lane skewered back here by XXS. They are going to have the Global Silence to try and get Ramses out of there, but he's still in dire straits at the moment. Going to run right back into the Magnus. Meanwhile, Samel, however, has died to Kiyotaka. So already a nice trade happening. So they even popped the Stone Gaze here on Monet, trying to catch Ramses. XXS, Shockwave up in a second, is going to be able to land it. So at least they will trade for their Ember Die. Not a bad trade at all here for Team Aster. And it is slowly starting to feel like Aster are getting out of control in this game number 2, John. It's like, sure, you might have a very tiny net worth lead on the side of 9 Pandas, but like Monet, I just don't know how they deal with him as the game goes on, because it is looking more challenging as the farm does come up.
Yeah, there's no easy answer as to what you can do to kind of just stop that Medusa at this point. A diffusal on a Wind Ranger, we've seen that a couple times. It really doesn't feel like it does much. I'm not sure what the play is. Maybe just try to keep burning down the mana, play around the Global Silence a little bit more. Just focus in heavily on the Dusa. Perhaps an Ags build-up on Miara starts to help the cause here as well. If he can kind of farm up, he is going for the Aura build-up first. I think the key thing's really just down to execution, and that has to be just finding the backline, finding Baboka first. Take care of this Pugna. If you take him out, the Dusa, it's going to be a lot more susceptible to that output. And 9 Pandas, they'll smoke up now.
9 Pandas looking to try to move in here with the big smoke out. Scan is into the die triangle, but Aster are currently taking the Tormentor. So Baboka now has the shards up on the Pugna, which means he can life drain the Nether Ward, which is always fun. A lot of sucking action here from Baboka as 9 Pandas from the back are showing up with a nice lasso, catching out the Pugna immediately. And that's what you wanted to see. Monet, he has popped the Stone Gaze, trying to move in. Sumail, he'll remnant right forward as well. Chains around, catching at least the Bat Rider, but they're losing too much here, Team Aster. Siamese Cat falling way too low on the Venomancer is going to go down. They're still trying for Monet, however. Global Silence is out. RP committed. They've caught Ramses with the RP, but there's no follow-up to it. Monet is gone. Team Aster trying to get the fight to go their way, but it does not pan out. At least XXS is going to be able to make it out. But they've already lost 3 big targets on Team Aster. And 9 Pandas, they lose nothing. Everybody survives.
That's all you need to do. Find Baboka first. Take care of this battery in the Pugna. And everything else just follows through.
Nice
really good execution there.
That is a great Shackles out. Do they have follow-up? Sumail should be okay, but no. Kiyotaka waiting in the wake, and another tip to come out from the Pango. And Ramses, that was a real perfect Shackle setup.
Yeah, he's been on point with a Wind Ranger. Finding all of these angles as we do have a Discord issue and some lags here. We can take a look at a replay in that last fight. Again, proper target prioritization coming out here from the side of 9 Pandas. Baboka gone first, Monet no problem. Really all you have to do. And Baboka, for his part, has to be really conscious now about his positioning. Cannot afford to be picked off. The forward wards from the side of 9 Pandas, giving him some pretty good ideas as to where that movement was coming in from. So you have to kind of take care of a vision game here as well. Like the Hawk vision and just this warding out from 9 Pandas has been on point and giving them these openings onto Aster. And 6k lead up for 9 Pandas now. Aster starting to taper off just a little bit, but they should still be able to find themselves opportunities. He is not in mind.
He's not in mind. I think they're referring to Ramses, who just continues to unpause as we do see the happy faces here from 9 Pandas. Here we go. They're having server issues on Discord. We're going to look to maybe change the servers. Apparently they're having 1,000 ping right now. Well, there you go.
Yeah. We shall see. Discord issues, Mikey.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens.
I mean, I'm surprised it happens so often, honestly. You know, but it does. It is what it is.
Yeah, I believe if the server's set to auto and someone from the admin team joins first, then it will default to their server first. So perhaps just a server change. If you can manage, if someone can manually change that, that is one option as well. You don't need to change the entire server. Yes, of course. You don't need to change the entire server. You could just change it on a per channel basis. So it's not too bad.
Thank you for that, John. We do have the go-ahead. Not sure if they took your advice or not, but it seems like the issues have been resolved, so we can go back into this game number 2. Of course, if you did just tune in, there is a 6k advantage standing right now for 9 Pandas. They have been certainly finding some nice ways of catching out the big cause of Team Aster, as you just saw Sumail dropping on the Ember Spirit, and even the win probability currently sitting at 74% the way of 9 Pandas. Even with Monet being at the top of the net worth board on the Medusa, it's just not translating to a higher win chance now for Aster, as what seems like 9 Pandas are well and truly finding the answers to their problems, which seem to mostly be just killing off Baboka before the team fights really start.
Yeah, just if you can get a grip on the Pugna, then your path to success is relatively easy. You don't have to worry about Monet just constantly regenerating up in the middle of these fights. You have the damage output still to go through that Deucer shield. And you can still kind of handle her, although...
Yeah, speaking of Baboka, Antares, no hesitation with the lasso committal onto the Pugna. Has managed to pick him off very, very simply. And that's pretty much it. That's the counter. Antares, just go lasso the Pugna, and the rest of the team will be very happy with you. That's all you need to do.
Yeah. Just have to be really careful. Again, the vision game from 9 Pandas allows them to pick into the backline relatively easily.
Antares.
So you really have to be so conscious, you know?
A little bit further than anticipated, but with the Firefly, bonus movement speed, he is fine to just back his way out. Case is ongoing. You did have Siamese Cat trying to cut in there for a moment, but decides better of it. So this chase amounts to absolutely nothing here for Team Aster. 9 Pandas, of course, just farming the rest of the map right now, just understanding exactly where Team Aster are located, remaining as a team because they are safer in numbers for sure. So now we do see Monet having a full MKB coming out on the Medusa, going for the Butterfly up next. But even with the MKB, like, you're just nowhere near the stage where you feel like you're confident enough to go for a big team fight yet, I don't think. But it seems like Team Aster, the game plan is going to be at the very least to try and secure this next Roshan, or at least have first dibs before 9 Pandas do move their way.
It's going to be a nighttime spawn, so they're in a good position to just hold it up top. They've got the wards watching the gate. They've got the plague wards as well to drop into the pit to watch that exact timer. They're in a good position to try to reel back control from the Roche pit. 9 Pandas are roughly in the same area. They're all kind of hanging up top, playing by the triangle. So they are in a position to invade. The scan is out. They are aware about the Roche potentially being up. This time around, don't manage to clip anyone. So let's see if they still force this movement out. They are still playing as a unit here.
Move in. Monet has been spotted, but they know the team's behind him, that's for sure. Again, you are looking for this Pugna first. Baboka is well and truly sitting very far back by the Dire Outpost, but the Hawk Vision is surely going to get there very soon as the Boar has scattered out the Pugna. And you can already see Antares trying to find a nice angle to go for the Blink Lasso in. Wrap around here from the bat. Roshan is now officially up and ready to go. RP, oh, he's found a couple. XXS, he's got a couple. It might be a good one. They are still looking to fight back, however. Monet, huge stone gaze going on here, just petrifying everyone, but the roar comes out. Miero fighting back. They've got the Deucer down. XXS, he will slowly follow. It's 9 Pandas, they are not done yet. Baboka, he was alive the whole time, John, but it just all happens too fast as Ramsey's again getting tipped here by his team. Nice RP or not, it just doesn't make the difference.
No. Like, they drag away the Deuce this time too far away from Pugna, and this time he just couldn't get the life drain. Sumail understands Roche is happening, is just going to TP out. She's already taking a look at the replay again. RP's on point, but the drag away on the Deuce, ensuring that Baboka couldn't get the life drain. He was just stuck in the middle of a rave party that he had wanted no part of. And again, 9 Pandas with a great understanding of what they have to do, just break up the combination. Ensure that Baboka can't get that top up onto the Deuce, can't get that save, and only have a grasp on the game. 13k up, 21-10 for 9 Pandas. Looking like that early GG out from game 1 has allowed them to reset quite well. And beside of Aster, the execution has been pretty alright, but it's just, how do you get yourself in a good spot here as the Pugna? It's just not a simple game for Baboka to constantly top anyone up, and he already has the Aether Lens. Maybe if you get something like a telescope down the line, start to feel better, or an Eye of the Vizier, but who knows if any of those options are available for him in the neutral stash.
Well, Team Aster now really on the back burner. 15k disadvantage for them. Not out of this game yet. I mean, we saw last game around, like 9 Pandas had a decent lead and just called GG out of nowhere. Yeah, you never know. They could find a situation like that again, but it doesn't seem like it this time. Lasso is out. They've caught the Venom. That'll be Siamese Cat going down immediately as now the Global Silence committed, and Ramses has been skewered in by XXS, but with the Gleipnir, he just locks them down. They're getting no damage off into the Wind Ranger. Meanwhile, they have stunned locked the Medusa to boot, so Monet just can't do nothing. But Boka is trying his best to keep him healthy with the mana pool. Now the RP comes out. They'll lock down the Pangolier, but Kiyotaka, he is still fine. He surely just swashbuckles away from this. So he will cheese up and just swashbuckle out. No way to hold him down as Ramsey's going back in onto the Magnus now. The Decrepify will save XXS for a little bit longer. And in fact, he will be able to get out of that scenario. But 9 Pandas, knowing so many spells have been committed here, will go back into the tier 3 top tower. And we'll see how Team Aster intend on trying to defend this, because it's not looking too easy right now. But they'll pop a 5-man smoke. They're going to move in. Who do they want first? Monet's going to reveal himself. Chains around onto Kiyotaka, but Ramsey's immediately going for the focus fire on the Medusa, and the shackle just locking him down. Look at the damage output. It's just way too high onto Monet. The Ramsey's, he might go down, but he's got the Aegis and Baboka, keeping Monet alive a little bit longer, but it's not enough. Oh, he's finally down. Ramsey's skewered back. Monet has brought back into the team fight. Shackle is out again. Ramsey's, he just can't miss these apparently. But he will die. They will finally take him down. And they do protect the top lane of Barracks. They only lose the tier 3.
It's quite a lot of commitment to just protect the tier 3. 2 buybacks being forced out. Yeah, having to buy back Medusa is the one that really sets you back here. And again, like the fight just very chaotic coming out. Some good angles being found with the RP. The healing was good on Baboka, sacrificing his life to get that done. Just not enough overall with how much damage is coming out right now on Ramses. And I suppose for Baboka, level 15 is going to be, 18 is going to be a big spike. They are trying to catch up rolling Pango, but that can stop him from the middle of that. I think Baboka just really needs his level 18. If he can somehow get that up, like the highest level heal transfer, that should be enough to allow you to really drag Monet's survivability up and try to be a massive issue. But even then, it just feels like they take too long to find these targets on the side of 9 Pandas. Like Aster just can't get burst damage out. They had to itemize much more defensively to deal with global sound, so output is just lacking across the board at the moment.
Yeah, it certainly does feel that way. You know, the bright side, now you have a Psychic Headband for Baboka, so even more cast range available on the Pugna. Nah, should make it a little bit easier for him to keep that life drain going. 17k advantage standing for 9 Pandas, though Team Aster have shown that they are not out of this game number 2 yet. Though they are at a 14% chance of a win probability here against 9 Pandas, who are sitting at 86%. There's another group up here in the mid lane by 9 Pandas. Only gonna find some Medusa illusions for now. And Team Aster, they do have all their spells back up and available, but so do 9 Pandas. Thing is though, you do have some great high ground defense to come from Team Aster with their own draft. Like, you've got the skewer back plays, you've got a Medusa with Stone Gaze, you've got an Ember Spirit with Sleight of Fist spam. Like, it is really tough to try and breach high ground without a good team fight, or at least an Aegis cheese on your side of things against the draft of Aster.
Yeah. And that stall can buy Aster some much needed time. Keep trying to scale up. There is a smoke play out from 9 Pandas here, though. They get a good kidnap here.
Going to be spotted there for a moment, but they won't bother blinking in for the lasso attempt. Kiyotaka just getting started here onto the tier 3 tower. Baboka trying to abuse the life drain with the Nether Ward, and now Siamese Cat immediately bursts down. That'll be lasso going down as well. Even the global silence being committed, and it seems like that's going to be enough for 9 Pandas. Like, you got a Veno kill, it's not really enough to safely push high ground. They've got a bot lane to address anyway, so they're just going to back off.
Yeah, just pull back. Reset a little bit. You don't have to expend the double global silence as well, so you're kind of happy with that. Just wait for the next Roche. Tormentor going to be taken by the side of Aster, and they will get the latent toxicity now on Siamese Cat. So he has a little bit more impact with that spell, at least a stun through the spell immunity or debuff immunity on hand. See, XXS running forward. What?
Oopsie daisies?
Huh?
Yeah, he's just gone. XXS literally just skewered, and Ramsey said, okay, I guess I'll focus fire you, and he gets the kill for free. Is now Ramsey's. Gleipnir gonna lock him down on the Medusa. Monet getting caught by a lasso, being dragged right back into Mero. He's already low on mana. Baboka's trying to get within range to heal him up. The solo is just holding back the Pugna as Monet is down. Baboka trying for the TP play out with the Decrepify is barely gonna make it, but they've lost their Medusa. 100 seconds without buyback available. There's now Siamese Cat will follow his carry.
They call?
Yeah, I mean, with the dieback on Monet, they're just not feeling it. And would you believe that, John? We have another tie in another series we've cast.
Yeah, well, No big surprises there. Even though Group B, not as many ties to go around here. 9 Pandas do, take that.